Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. We have the AFC NFC Championship game recap going over the wild weekend in sports when the Cincinnati Bengals ended up punching their ticket over the Kansas City Chiefs. And congratulations to Joe Cool, Joe Burr, Joey Franchise, and the Cincinnati Bengals to get to the Super Bowl. And then we saw the Rams and Aaron Donald get all the pressure on Jimmy G and beat the 49ers and punch their ticket to represent the NFC. Now we're going to end up having the least likely matchup based off betting over the Vegas line. We're going to have the Cincinnati Bengals and the Los Angeles Rams. Now, I'm watching Good Morning Football this morning. And we already know Sack Lunch, yum, yum, yum. I obviously am the originator of that. EA Sports, Madden, not only didn't give me credit for that, didn't, give me any kind of, credit in the game or money or anything like that, right? And they put it in the video game. And you can see it in the verbiage, sack lunch, the verbiage on the screen when you end up getting sack lunch. I know that people like, Tom Grossi with the kitty goes meow. Obviously, you're going to end up getting certain people that get jealous or they just can't come up with their own original content or material. I'm watching Good Morning Football this morning, and I literally almost shit myself. All right, I got it queued up here on the TV right now. It's on my Instagram. It's on my Twitter. It's on my Facebook. When I ended up listening to it, I almost couldn't believe it. This guy, Peter Schrager, who's so respected in NFL circles on Good Morning Football, he's on there with Chris Carter and Kyle Brandt and Kay Adams. And I have it queued up. It's about 24 minutes into the show, obviously this morning, right? And he goes, oh, you know what? Obviously the Chiefs were up by a lot. And then obviously, you know what I call it? He's like, I call it Uncle Mo. And then Kyle Brandt says, Uncle Mo, or no, and then he says, yeah, Uncle Momentum. I'm like, oh my God, you got to be freaking kidding me. You got to, so that these people have social media teams, if it's not them themselves that are watching people like me and Grossi, but I've never seen it on the TV though. I mean, it might have been on podcasts and whatnot, but I got it queued up right here. And I don't know if you guys will be able to hear it, but I'm going to end up watching it, but it blew my mind. I had to actually tweet out Schrager and I was like, bro, at least give me credit. You know what I mean? At least give me credit that, the catchphrase instead of just acting like you just made it up. Cause that's pretty much, because he says, I call it Uncle Mo. And then Kyle Brandt says, what's that? Right? They've never heard it before on the show. And he said, Uncle Momentum. They've never said that on the show. I watch that show regularly. I mean, it's one thing to steal Sack Lunch from me, but then to also steal Uncle Mo, Uncle Momentum. I've never heard. You might have been watching, Pat McAfee, and they maybe have said it on there, but we all know the originators. It's like if someone said Kitty Goes Meow, we already know that's Tom Grossi and Tom Grossi alone. But to steal Sack Lunch from me, right? And then on top of that, Uncle Mo, Uncle Momentum. I mean, come on, dog. Come up with your own original material. I'm going to play the clip right now and see if you guys can hear it. But if you want proof, you can go to my Instagram or my Twitter, and it's on there, clear as day. Let me actually play this right now. I don't want to blow the speakers on my TV, but let's play it right now. I'm going to end up seeing if you guys can hear it or not. I'm not sure if you'll be able to, but let's play it right now on the TV. Can you hear it?
All right, so everyone in the building is listening to Walker Hayes and the Applebee's song. I can't hear a word Boomer is saying. And then we come out here, and it's like the defense steps up. Where's the whipped cream? I love the Applebee's song. You couldn't hear a word CBS was saying.
All right, let's see if it comes up here.
And then here we go. It's 3 stops. And the defense.
Can't believe this, man.
You can see. And Ken, we were in the building in Arrowhead.
Right here. Listen.
I call it Uncle Mo.
I call it Uncle Mo.
Momentum. You feel it.
Here, I'm going to rewind that again. Hold on. Listen close if you can't hear it. Listen.
And then here we go. It's 3 stops and the defense. And then you saw the sideline. You can see. And Ken, we were in the building in Arrowhead. In Crazy Midget. I call it Uncle Mo. Uncle Mo. Momentum. Yes. You feel it. Hey, I know I watch a lot of games.
Really? I call it Uncle Mo. What's that, Kyle Brandt? Uncle Momentum. Come on, man. Unfucking believable. YouTube GM in the building. What to do? They should use your terminology, but they should recommend your channel. At least do that. I mean, if you want to end up stealing the catchphrases, at least recommend my channel to help me get some subs, or at least give me credit. You know what I mean? Instead of, just claiming like you motherfucking made that shit up. Fucking ridiculous. I mean, at least I know they're listening. At least EA Sports and Madden are listening. At least Good Morning Football and Pat McAfee Show and these guys are listening. But at least give me credit, even though I'm the smaller guy and I'm not famous. I'm not, worldwide. I'm not global. But I do come up with original content, just like someone like Tom Grossi with Kitty Goes Meow. Come on, man. Unfucking believable. What a deal. Brute saying you've heard Pat McAfee use it too. So I know they have social media teams and they go towards the people that are doing, the live play-by-play and reactions and whatnot. But unfucking believable. I almost couldn't believe that I heard him say Uncle Mo. And I said, I had it recorded, and I was like, okay. He said Uncle Mo. And then he said, Kyle Brent, what's that? Uncle Momentum. I was like, oh my God, are you fucking kidding me? And I had to tweet him, you know what I mean? And I tweeted him after I made the post, and I waited until about an hour ago, you know what I mean? Because I was just so like, wow. I said, P. Shregs. I said, I see you like stealing original content like my Uncle Mo, Uncle Momentum. I said, I've been saying that for years on my NFL YouTube channel. At least give credit. Don't act like you made it up today, SMH. And then hashtag Northwest Sports Fanatics, NWSF. So I know he saw it. He obviously didn't like it, but I know I sent it directly to his phone, so he read it. So whether or not, the producers made him say it or he decided to steal it, I mean, at least shout me out and give me some credit, instead of just saying I made it up, because everyone knows, sack lunch, yum, 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 that came from me. All right, someone call 911, that came from me. Uncle Mo, Uncle Momentum, it came from me. But at least I know on the bright side, if they're not going to give me credit, and I can't copyright every single thing I say, because that would be way too many things for me to be able to go over, at least shout me out in the channel. At least say, hey, Orion from Northwest. But obviously these guys, they don't want to do that, because then it looks like they're not original. They want to be able to look like they're coming up with this cool catchphrases and whatnot. Come on, my dude. YouTube GM. So they should recommend your channel if they use your verbiage. Luke, he said, we hear it. He said, I heard it. Okay. Oh, man. But at least it's cool that I know that they're listening. You know what I mean? They're watching. They might not sub to the channel. They may never donate. They may never name. I may never know that they're there. You know what I mean? But you do know that they are stealing it. Straight highway robbery, right? Oh, man. The best friend, Cooper Kupp and the best friend. Yeah, there's a lot of those things with Jared Goff, and, it's just crazy. It's just crazy, man. Loyal Rammy in the building. Congratulations, man. The Ramily, you guys did it. Obviously the Bengals and Rams were probably the least likely, pairing to make it. It was pretty much what? Chiefs, Rams on the Vegas line was number one, right? Then it was the Niners and the Bengals, number two for the away teams, to have the crazy happen. Then, the Chiefs and the Niners, three, and then the least likely scenario happened. It ended up being the Bengals and the Rams. So shout out to the Rams and shout out to the Bengals. The utmost collapse of, not only, the Kansas City Chiefs, but Mahomes. That second half, I just can't believe that shit happened. They were so on fire and on point in the first half, and then Uncle Mo. Speaking of Peter Schrager and Kyle Brandt, trying to steal my fucking material. Uncle Mo, Uncle Momentum hit, just like I said during my show, and boom, the rest is history. Third quarter, Uncle Mo. Fourth quarter, Uncle Mo. Overtime, Uncle Mo. So it is what it is, and even with Kansas City winning the toss, it didn't matter. But the number one reason that the Chiefs lost is what? Instead of going for the field goal right before the half, they tried to step on the throat, put the pedal to the gas, and they tried to end the game like dumbasses, right? And then they ended up getting stopped with that screen to Tyreek. If they would have kicked that field goal, I truly believe that they would have won, because not only would you have gotten a free 3 points right there, you got the ball after halftime. It's just crazy to me. Maybe they'll learn in the future, but unbelievable. Hey, Peter Schrager, Good Morning Football. Yeah, it's like, how about doing your own homework for a change, or at least give me some credit? And like I said, it was just crazy that it was on there. I mean, I got it recorded. I'm going to save it on there. But I just it's one thing to steal sack lunch from me, and that's been in the video games and EA Sports now for years, right? They stole that, the audio, the verbiage. It comes up on the screen when you get a sack lunch, like the words on the screen. But Uncle Mo, I knew it was going to happen one day. either on, a Pat McAfee show or Good Morning Football or some show out there, Skip and Shannon. But I thought anybody but Peter Schrager, you know what I mean? He's like the stats and the analytics guy like me. I thought anybody but this guy. And lo and behold, the guy that has to steal my material is fucking Peter Schrager from Good Morning Football. Unfucking believable. I said my saying of slice of humble pie ain't original, but I don't think I took as my own saying. And I've been saying, see these things for years. It's not like I just came up with it, this weekend and then he stole it. I mean, I've been saying this shit for years, so that they're watching. But man, unfucking believable, man. Unbelievable. Brute Saint in the building. What to do? Hey, happy early birthday. Freaking fracking football, baby. Tom Grossi. Oh man, it's crazy. STL Rocks 2021. You are going to have a birthday very, very soon. Congratulations on hitting 21. Obviously, I read the comments. I know the fans. Shout out to you. Joe Fly. Peter the Stooge. Man, oh man, this motherfucking guy, dude. Sorry I wasn't there for the game day thread. Yeah, I imagine, man. And you guys ended up doing it. You know what I mean? It's like you got Stafford, you got Aaron Donald, you got everyone. Cooper Kupp, obviously now. I said that in the game too. When you guys were down, quite a bit in the game. When you guys were down, 14-10, I was like, oh, okay, 17-3. I was like, I think they can come back. I was like, but it has to be Cooper Kupp. Obviously, that's like their number one guy. And they kept going to him. And obviously, I knew once they hit that first touchdown and then they ended up being, 17-10 or whatnot. I was like, okay. I was like, they got a chance. They're only down now by one score rather than two, and they figured it out. But congratulations to the Ramley. I got to crack some beers and obviously go over this damn fucking Peter Schrager stealing my fucking material. It's kind of an honor for other people to steal my material, but it also sucks too because it's not like I'm getting paid or even getting my name shouted out. You can at least shout me out instead of claiming that you just made it up yourself. That's a crappy part about it. But I'm always going to be grinding. I'm always going to be hustling, but it is what it is. So I thought it would be the Rams and the Chiefs. I was always confident the Rams would be there. Well, obviously with the Niners, they got hot at the right time, but they just couldn't come through. And obviously with the Chiefs, I think most people thought the Chiefs would end up doing it at home, especially with that meltdown, right? Jim Harbaugh getting an interview Wednesday for the Vikings. That would be, I guess, a good spot for him to be able to get that. Obviously if he ends up getting that particular job, maybe he can put him on the map. I don't know. Michigan might be a better job for him, but I guess it is the NFL and you might be able to, make something happen. All right. Xavier Wellens, I agree. It was a crazy postseason. It was anyone's Super Bowl appearance, all these winning teams. Yeah. And it's the 2-4 seeds. I don't think it's ever happened before with the 2-4 seeds. Unfucking believable. Mahomes solid in the second half overall, but no, he was not solid in the second half overall. The offense absolutely blew in the second half. You were there. We watched the game. The first half was great. The second half was absolutely horrendous. Come on, man. It was not good. It was not good. He said, okay, sure, you can make the big play calling excuse, but you can't deny Mahomes screwed them over big. And throwing in a double coverage there at the end. What the fuck are you doing? What are you doing right there? I don't know. For me, I thought he played bad, and especially throwing into double coverage right there. Jesse Bates III ended up making the big play. Man, crazy weekend of sports. I got to crack some beers. We're going to hang out here for a little bit, but I appreciate every single one of y'all. Let me listen to this Uncle Mo one more time. Let me listen to this Stooge one more time. Man, unbelievable. Let me listen to it. Hold on. Let me listen to this one more time. I'm still in shock that this shit happened. I won't lie. All right, here we go. Let me listen to it one more time. Let's listen.
You can see. And Kay, we were in the building in Arrowhead. In Crazy Midget. I call it Uncle Mo. It's Uncle Mo. Momentum. Yes. You feel it. You feel it. Hey, and I know I watch a lot of games on the couch. And
Stop it, Schrager. I call it Uncle Mo. What's that? Uncle Momentum. Like you just made it up. Come on, Peter. Be better. Oh, unbelievable, man. But at least they're watching me. At least they're watching me and they know what's up. But unfucking believable. How's everybody doing today, man? What a wild, wild weekend. Okay. Peter Schrager steals Uncle Mo from your boy. AFC NFC championship game recap with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $ORIONNWSF on the YouTube super chat right here. And if you're looking for merch, Northwest Sports Fanatic merch, link is below every video on the YouTube page. Follow me, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, NW Sports Fanatic. So we've obviously played the audio here a couple times. If you want to check my Instagram or my Twitter out, the audio and the video is there as well. Unbelievable. But we can talk about the Niners, the Rams. We can talk about the stats. YouTube GM is in the building, so we can go over that as well as the Chiefs collapse and the Cincinnati Bengals being maybe the most bandwagon popular team with Joe Burrow. Get the gat. I see you. Obviously, this Rams team might be a little too much, especially if they can take advantage of that offensive line, for the Cincinnati Bengals, which was horrible against the Titans. Good against the Niners. What are we going to get against the Rams? I'm not really too sure. But what I do know, it's hot as hell in this room. So I got to turn on the fan. We'll drink some beers and we'll hang out. So give me just a second. Man, oh man. I am still just fucking can't believe that Uncle Mo got stolen. I knew it was going to happen eventually. I knew that certain catchphrases, with the best friend with the Goff and the Goffense and Cooper Cup and someone call 911 and sack lunch, yum, yum, yum. They stole that. EA Sports stole that, 4 or 5 years ago, but I just didn't think Uncle Mo, even though it's very catchy, obviously, but to kind of claim it as your own, Uncle Momentum. Come on, NFL Network. At least put me on the show, or at least shout out my YouTube channel, or shout me out and give me some credit there instead of acting like you ended up making up Uncle Mo. Unbelievable, man. Said, man, I remember you using Uncle Mo. Yeah, dude, I've been using it for years. I mean, it's already 2022. I've been doing it for years. We started the channel in 2017, so unbelievable. But at least, for all the haters out there and all of my friends that think that these guys aren't watching the show or they're not getting the material from somewhere else, maybe now, they can start to realize that, hey, maybe people like Grossi and maybe people like Orion and the Northwest Sports Fanatics do have people watching them that are stealing the material. Because I know I do have friends that think that, oh, it's just coincidence that, he great minds think alike. That's bullshit. Because Uncle Mo is so pinpoint, like a certain thing. Like you can say something that deals with momentum, but Uncle Mo, I mean, like I said, that's something that's just too original for just someone to come up with originally on their own, unless you heard it from somewhere else, at least in my opinion. You know what I mean? And I've been saying it. And you were saying also, Brute, saying that you've heard it on Pat McAfee show on the podcast. I've never heard it on there, but I don't listen to it every day. So I don't know how long ago it's been for them to say that, but they're listening. They're listening out there. All right, let me acknowledge everybody in the room. I hope everyone's having a fantastic day. It's Monday. We're kind of just recovering from, obviously NFC, AFC championship, game weekend. I was having a great day until this morning, until I saw Uncle Mo get stolen from me. But it is what it is. YouTube GM in the building. Luke Blackhawks Birch in the building. Sarah Small in the building. Joe Fly in the building. Brute Saint in the building. Everyone in the building. Jameson Meza in the building. Loyal Rammy in the building. What a deal. Oh, man. Fucking Uncle Mo. Unbelievable. So cannot believe that the Vikings are bringing Jim Harbaugh in an interview. Yeah, I don't know. I just think he should stay at Michigan. I'm not sure if the Vikings are ideal, but yes, maybe it is ideal, because if Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams both leave, or if Devontae Adams gets, the franchise tag, the Vikings could start running the division, right? With, maybe the Chicago Bears, maybe those two teams would be able to compete. And obviously the Packers would be somewhere between probably 1, 2, and 3. But more than likely, depending on what the Vikings did, if they got Harbaugh, they probably would be the favorite based on the roster. Because I don't know if Jordan Love can bring them an NFC North, King of the North championship, for representing NFC North status. That's facts. Loyal Rammy. Luke, what about the easy drops that Ramsey did versus Garoppolo? Plays are always missed during a game, which doesn't lessen what the winner does. A lot of interceptions that were dropped, a lot of plays, but you just ultimately got to give the Rams credit. Whether you love them or you don't like them, they have Stafford. You can be at least happy for Matthew Stafford. You know what I mean? Even if you don't want the Rams to win, and obviously Joe Burrow is more likable than the Rams, but, they've been working hard. And like I said, Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan are the two brightest minds. They went all in. They dumped all their money and trying to get Von Miller and OBJ, and obviously Robert Woods being out. You're seeing the impact of OBJ and how great that he is. I'm happy for the Rams and them actually proving a lot of the hate is wrong. And you got one more game to do it. And obviously Cincinnati is going to be a heavy underdog, but the way that Joe Burrow has been playing, you got to think they got a chance. They got a chance to be able to win the game. So it'll be very exciting. The number one matchup is going to be Jalen Ramsey at corner versus who? Jamar Chase. That's going to be must-see TV in the Super Bowl. Appreciate every single one of y'all in the building. Orion, I know, great Buccaneers fan. I'm currently following the AJ show. He's a huge, hey, send him my way. Send the AJ show my way. If he doesn't know about NWSF and the Northwest Sports Fanatics, I would love to have more Buccaneer representation on the channel. And that's facts. So the Kansas City Chiefs look bad in the second half. Very bad. Very, very bad. Lots of punts, lots of turnovers. They had multiple chances to pull away, but if they would have went for a field goal at the end of the first half, I really think that would have been the key for them to be able to find a way and win. So it doesn't surprise me. Our boy always grinding one game at a time, knowledgeable and very talented on the mic. Thank you so much, man. All right. Maybe YouTube GM is actually Peter Schrager. Wouldn't that be funny? Let's get some donos going. Bang! There we go. 449. Can't wait to get my name and PFP back Wednesday night. LOL. The Niners-Rams games was over when Tart put that pick on grass. Yeah, exactly. Bang, 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 bang. Thank you, ma'am. That definitely makes up for just the craziness that's happened. You know what I mean? But like I said, for someone to steal my material is one thing. But, you can at least shout me out. Shout out but that's what those guys don't do, because they want to come out as looking like, brilliant. Oh my God, you're so brilliant. You're so unique. You're so original. You know what I mean? And then some, like, I imagine like Kyle Brandt and, Chris Carter and Kay Adams, they were like, wow, Peter's really doing the research. He's coming up with all these cool catchphrases and things. And I know he does a lot of research, just like me, as we're watching the Bengals and the Chiefs right here on NFL Network. They're showing the AFC Championship game. McPherson, field goal is up. And it's good. 24-21 with 6:04 left in the fourth quarter. So I imagine they're going to be showing that. Luke, my boy, Birch, thank you so much for the $4.49 donation. 450, tree 50, 450. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate you guys very, very much. But just the Uncle Mo, come on, Peter Schrager. You know what I mean? At least give me credit. Don't act like you just made it up. Said, yeah, it's been rocking me since 2018 when you were making those great game day play-by-play calls and you saying Uncle Mo all the way back then. Absolutely. Absolutely. Said, how'd you figure out my secret identity? YouTube GM. Well, obviously YouTube GM wouldn't be Peter Schrager, because then he would be putting all his time into this channel. And I know Peter Schrager doesn't watch this channel regularly, unless you don't think he does. But it's crazy, man. It's crazy. I got to open up a fucking beer, man. Yeah, if you had Peter Schrager money, hell yeah, right? All right. I need a beer for this Uncle Mo's theft. This thievery of Uncle Mo. Cheers. Hopefully none of you guys have any of your original content stolen in the future on whatever job that you do. But hey, today's the day after the NFC AFC Championship game. We have footage, we have audio. It's never going away. It's one thing for EA Sports and Madden to steal sack lunch, but now we have another catchphrase being stolen, and it sounds like even Pat McAfee show has been using it as well. It's probably a lot of other outlets and a lot of other shows that I don't even know about, because obviously I'm not the biggest out there. There's a lot of other YouTubers that got more subs, but I think we have the most loyal fans here. I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. Gang. Man, unbelievable. I'm still like, I couldn't believe it when I saw it this morning. Like, I dropped everything and I was like, oh my God, he did not just say that. And I watch Good Morning Football pretty regularly, and I try to watch Pat McAfee show, on YouTube or listen to it as much as I can, but unbelievable. But at least it was on the biggest stage, but they're just acting like they made it up themselves. That's the only thing that irks me a little bit. Like, acting like you just made it up. Come on, Peter. Come on, Schrager. Be better. Be better, my dude. So I believe the AFC Championship that Burrow has given the message. Keep propping up Allen versus Mahomes. Meanwhile, I'll prove that I belong in the category. And I think that maybe we were calling, Joe Burrow a top 10 quarterback, with Josh Allen and Justin Herbert. Maybe he's not just top 10. Maybe he's not top 5. Maybe he's top 3. Let's be honest. I mean, you got guys like Rodgers and Russell Wilson and Mahomes, but is it that crazy to say that maybe Burrow has catapulted himself into top 3 status? I say yes. I say yes, because, I mean, if he doesn't have an offensive line and you're seeing him, be Joe Cool, get the gat. I mean, it's just amazing to see what he's been able to do. You know what I mean? So at least we got a live stream out of this. Yeah. He said, uh-oh. He said, Ryan, thinking of slamming four. I don't have 4 gummies. I think I have 1 in the room. Money's a little tight, obviously. So, yeah, I might be able to try to get some tomorrow or whatnot. But, man, what a day. This guy right here. I had so much respect for this guy. You know what I mean? Had so much respect for this guy right here. Peter Schrager. Peter. All right, I watch you every day. I watch you every day out there. Peter Schrager, I see you. You're on the phone on the Dan Patrick Show. I watch you all the time. And then you just go out there and steal the material. Shame, shame, shame on you. Stealing the Uncle Mo. Unbelievable. Jim Harbaugh sounds like he might be the new head coach of the Minnesota Vikings. He's going to go in for an interview. And then this guy. It's official today. All right, Josh McDaniels is the new head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. So congratulations to Josh McDaniels. This should be better than just like a little blip, a little small, kind of sample size of what we got with Tim Tebow and the Denver Broncos. So it's good to be able to see him get a chance because knowing Bill Belichick, and Andy Reid, both guys probably won't stop coaching for another, 10, 20, 30 years. I mean, who knows? I know Andy Reid will walk away, but Bill Belichick might, coach until he's on his gravesite. And that's fact. So then maybe, with Eric Bieniemy, I mean, he might want to try to look elsewhere, but I think he should stick around after Andy decides to walk away. But congratulations to Josh McDaniels. No congratulations to this guy. I used to respect the hell out of you, my dude. Peter Schrager, don't steal my fucking material, dude. Come on, man. Unfucking believable. Unbelievable. Shepard Williams in the building. What to do? Burrow and Herbert are my favorites. They're very likable, very humble. Yeah, they got the swag. Both are different types of quarterbacks, and those two are better than anybody in this draft class. And the only one that might even be like semi-close is maybe Justin Fields over time. He's got a lot of athletic ability. The arm seems pretty good. I mean, we'll see what Trey Lance does because that was Jimmy G's last game with the Niners. Period. Trey Lance is the guy. Whether they don't make the playoffs next year or not, the Jimmy G era, porn star Jimmy in San Francisco, that shit is over. The last game for him was that loss against the Rams, and that's big facts. YouTube GM, the worst part about the Super Bowl is I want both teams to win. Yeah, I'm kind of in that boat too. It's like I want to see Stafford win and Aaron Donald finally get the ring for his legacy. But Joe Burrow would be very cool because there's only guys, he'd be the first to win the Heisman, to win the Natty, and then to win a Super Bowl. First 2 years, and then the other 2 guys that have had legendary careers like that, Joe Namath, Joe Montana. So I don't know if I ever have a son, maybe I might need to name my son Joe because it seems like if your name is Joe, you're destined for fucking greatness. Joe Namath, Joe Montana, Joe Burrow. My God. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. Meanwhile, the Saints are interviewing the special teams coach. I saw that. So I think I lean more towards the Rams. Stafford has a smaller window. Yeah, and Burrow, they're going to you would think they would get back again, but you never know. Like I said, with the Chiefs, we thought they would be getting back over and over and over again. And it seems like it's maybe a little bit harder than people think. Other teams are getting better and a lot of parity in the NFL. Like, who would have thought that the last place Niners and the last place Bengals would have made it all the way to the NFC, AFC championship game, and let alone Joe Burrow has a horrible offensive line, and they made it to the Super Bowl. I've never seen anything like it, and the Joe Burrow mystique is going to keep growing every single day. Dennis Allen needs to be our head coach. I don't agree with the Saints fans a lot of the times, but Elliott Evans, you're right. You're absolutely right. This needs to be the guy unless you can keep him at defensive coordinator and bring in a name. I think Brian Flores would be very interesting, but I don't know if he would want to go there. But this guy, obviously being a part of the organization would be the smartest move, in my opinion. Okay? Big facts. Say, look, you got me to say Mark Ingram. Yeah, that would be another one. Just the way that you say things, you know what I mean? And then you hear other people steal it. It's just one of those things, man. It's just one of those things, man. It's just crazy. So still loyal to my Red Wings. Only got this name and pick after losing a bet to a guy I think goes by Johnny Rockford. Yes. Yeah, my boy, Johnny, always making all the merch. Shout out to Johnny. I need to have him make a thumbnail for the Super Bowl, so I'll be reaching out to him probably here in a couple days. Let's see here. So if Matthew Stafford wins the Super Bowl, is he then a top 5 quarterback? I'd put him in front of Russell Wilson. Ooh. Well, you're a Rams fan. And obviously we've seen Matthew Stafford's career kind of go up, down, and he's kind of known like he can't win the big ones. But now in this playoff run, he's showing He can beat the brakes off the Cardinals, beat the brakes off Tampa Bay, my team, and to be able to come back and be down in the fourth quarter, I'm not sure if I would necessarily put him over Russell Wilson, but putting him in top 5 status with Cooper Kupp being arguably the best wide receiver in the game this season, even though Davante Adams and Tyreek are great. If you look at the impact of Cooper Kupp this year, you could say, hey, maybe this guy's a top 5 quarterback and maybe Cooper Kupp is a top 5 wide receiver. He looked like number 1 pretty much all year. And if he didn't score, there's 2 touchdowns last night. There is no dub for the Rams. So I have a lot of respect for Stafford and Cooper Kupp and Ramsey and Vaughn and Donald, all the guys that are on the roster. The one guy that might miss out is who? The injury. The injury to this guy right here, and he might make him miss the Super Bowl. Tyler Higbee. God damn it. Like I like pulling for guys, and I don't want guys to get hurt. And it sounds like there's a chance that he might be able to play, but more than likely he's going to be done. So Loyal Rammy will probably have some more information on that with the Rams websites and everything else coming out on the social media outlets. But Matthew Stafford is a baller. He's a boss. And obviously they found a way to get it done. And lo and behold, Jimmy Garoppolo making the key mistake at the end of the game like he always does. And it ended up, losing the game for him. And that's big facts. Message from a Golden Eagle on the NWSL. And he said Joe Biden. I don't know if I would go that far. Joe Namath, he said the most overrated Hall of Famer of all time. But he did call the Super Bowl, and he did win. He did win. Brute saying, he said, I love parody. Ain't good for ratings in the Super Bowl. But who cares, right? You still got Matthew Stafford. You got 2 guys, right? Stafford, hasn't won a ring. Aaron Donald needs that ring. So you got a lot of superstars, OBJ, Von Miller. They got Cooper Kupp. They got all these guys over on one side, a super team, like a dream team in basketball, right? Or like the Harlem Globetrotters are the Rams. And then you got this really likable, fun, young team that a lot of people are going to hop on the wagon for years to come. It's like we all thought it was the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills, but watch out. You got Joe Burrow now. I think he's going to start getting his jersey sold on a very high platform, especially if they win the Super Bowl. I mean, there's going to be Cincinnati Bengal fans, coming out of the woodworks. Oh, I've been a Bengals fan since Boomer Esiason. Sure you were, right? But all in all, the Rams we knew would probably get there. The Bengals, we had no idea. And it's always cool to be able to see the progression of a young man from Ohio. Get the gat. Leave Ohio, right? Leave Ohio State. Go to LSU. Win the Natty. Maybe have arguably the best team in college football history ever. Him to Jamar Chase, 4 tutties, Natty. All right. Then he ends up getting the ACL, MCL, PCL, all the CLs out of his knee, out for the year, right? And then he comes back, and boom, you're in the Super Bowl. What a fucking career, and what moxie, what perseverance, you know what I mean? He is such a stud. How can you not root for a guy like Joe Burrow? And that's big facts. He said that's why the Jets suck now. They are cursed for bringing Joe Namath relevance. He said, hey, Ryan, do you think Harbaugh will be the next coach for my Vikes? I'm feeling good about it. Yes, I do. Like I said, if Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams were still going to be there, then I would say, you could still get number 2 in the division and get a wild card over the Bears and the Lions. So you got that going for you. But Aaron's gone. Davante Adams will probably be franchised unless they decide to let him go. And then who's going to take over the division? Minnesota. So you're going to have a guy that can play power football, you know what I mean? And have a guy that plays good defense and riles up the troops like he did in San Francisco. So I think that it would be an excellent kind of fit, especially with Aaron Rodgers and possibly Davante Adams leaving. So CP, you might end up being able to get a nice little Super Bowl run or a deep NFC championship game run sooner than later, but you still got a lot of pieces. You got Thielen, you got Justin Jefferson, you got Dalvin Cook, you got obviously, Kirk Cousins. You need to beef up that O-line, beef up the defense, and then we'll see. But piece by piece, step by step. You know what I mean? Let's get it. There's a reason Kupp is the best friend. Yes, it is. Dalton Boss. Jim Harbaugh will be the Vikings head coach. Yeah, I think he will. Blanton stepped up in place of Higbee. More than stepped up. He played incredible. If you really think about the key catches that he had, I don't think anyone expected anything from Blanton. and he ended up playing very good. And remember, they used to have Gerald Everett, but he went to the Seahawks, so they were probably thinking, shit, it would be nice to have Everett now once Higbee got hurt. But Blanton definitely played great. I was very impressed with his skill set, coming in just like, oh my God, I'm playing, and then not really having any time to really get, into the rhythm of things and still being able to ball out. The Philly 3291 Ramley in the building. Congratulations, man. The Rams are in the Super Bowl. They got to be the heavy favorite, especially with that D-line and Stafford, but you never know. Even with Joe Burrow, being that underdog, we've been counting him out, and he keeps proving us wrong. Can he prove everyone wrong one more time against the juggernaut Rams? Maybe. I mean, I don't know. All I know is I hope it's a close game. I hope it goes down to a field goal at the end, a 30-27 game. And I do know with Gay can make the field goals, but if it ends up being McPherson and the game is tied at 27-27, the Bengals will win. If he has to kick that field goal, 40, 50 yarders, it's no problem. A great comment here. OBJ has been huge for the Rams. Absolutely. His target share has been up so much. He quit on the Browns. That's very clear. Tried to kind of complain, and it's all all Baker's fault and the media. He didn't want to be there. He was playing with his friend Jarvis Landry, but he seems more motivated. And I feel he honestly did quit on the Browns, and now he's somewhere where he can win. He's actually playing harder, and he's taking advantage of the Robert Woods injury. And obviously, Cooper Kupp was very classy, saying, "Hey, we wouldn't be here without Robert Woods." Which is true, because I think Robert Woods, since now Cooper Kupp has gotten all the love in the pub, I think Robert Woods is the most underrated wide receiver in the game, besides Tyler Get to the Door and Lockett, which will be probably stolen from me in 3, 2, 1. Tyler Get to the Door and Lockett, stolen by Peter Schrager, just like he stole Uncle Momentum on Good Morning Football this morning, okay? So I like obviously Robert Woods, Tyler Get to the Door and Lockett, and also DJ Moore from the Panthers. I think those are probably now the three. I had Cooper Kupp in that same category, but once Matthew Stafford came over, the rest is history. I mean, he might be the best wide receiver in the game right now, besides Devontae Adams and Tyreek the Freak Hill. Facts. See here. He said, I heard Harbaugh wants Fangio as his defensive coordinator. That would be perfect because that's what he is. He's a natural defensive coordinator, not a head coach. That would be a great combo. If you get those two guys together in Minnesota, you're winning the division. And you might end up going a little bit further. It might not be in year one because the offensive line, defense, it's not the same team, with Everson Griffin and, Danielle Hunter in their prime, Xavier Rhodes closed. A lot of these guys, they're not on the team anymore, or they're not in their prime anymore. So they're going to have to rebuild the O-line and the defense, but there's potential there. There's definitely potential there. Jameson Mays, it'd be nice to see my Titans either get a new OC or get someone to help out Todd Downing in his game. We prep in the play designs. Jameson Mays agreed. Just need a little bit more. And Tannehill, like I said, everyone wants to shit on him. I still like him a lot. That was just a bad game by him. And he had Henry, Julio, A.J. Brown hurt all season, and they lost Jonnu Smith. So I think if I was the Titans, I would draft a tight end in this year's draft. Try to get the best tight end you can in college football because it shows you he needs a check down guy. If anyone needs a check down guy more than anybody in the NFL, it's Ryan Tannehill. When he ended up losing Jonnu Smith and they tried to do Ferkser and all the rest, it just wasn't the same impact. And I think that that too. Watching games this year, the tight end position was nowhere to be found after Jonnu Smith left. And Jonnu Smith, when healthy, I think is a top 12 tight end in the league. And that's facts. Current line is Rams by 4. And that might change at some point, right? So I'm going to crow up and admit that I believe Odell was done in this league. But man, has he proved me wrong. Proud of him. Go Tigers. Yeah. Definitely. You know what I mean? I think that, when he first came into the career, they had a lot of life with Eli and the Giants and the amazing grab, and when he got on SportsCenter. But then after that, I think he got kind of, hanging out with Drake and, the parties and the girls and the money. And I think he just like, I'm not going to win a Super Bowl. So I'm just going to, live my best life. Right. But then after that, he went to the Browns. He's like, hey, Jarvis. All right. We're hanging out. We're boys. We played at LSU and it was cool at first. But then they started losing games, game after game after game. And he's like, this fucking sucks. This fucking sucks. And then, boom, now you're, in a place like the Rams, and it's starting to show. Tampa Bay probably should have signed OBJ. We already had AB, and we couldn't have predicted that AB was going to lose his mind, or maybe we could have. But it could have been like, damn, if we would have signed OBJ when we had a chance, what could have been, what the Rams ended up accomplishing. Maybe Tom could have had that other weapon with no Godwin and no AB, but it shows you the value of OBJ. I've gained a lot of respect for him, and I think he's going to get a huge fucking contract next year. That's facts. Good job, OBJ. I mean, we know that you're never going to be a top 5 wide receiver anymore, but if you keep working hard, you can be a top 15 wide receiver in this league again, and you're really starting to ball out and show that you got the skill set to win a Super Bowl for the Rams, and I know the Ramley is excited to have him. Safety Nick Scott would be on Tom Jackson's all jacked up. He just about knocked Debo out yesterday. He knocked Gronk out in the first matchup with the Rams. Loyal Rammy. Knowing his stats, knowing his team, I do. Matthew Stafford this postseason. Here you go. I didn't even have to ask you, YouTube GM, and you're already putting up the stats. Shout out to you. Let's take a look. Anything that has to do with the Bengals or with the Rams, please put it up on the screen for the fans in the room. It's always nice to be able to have a team. All right. Have a team to be able to work on things with Sarah Small and the Donos, YouTube GM, obviously with the stats and the analytics. Thank you so much, man. Look at that. 72 for 100, 905, 6 touchdowns and 1 pick. And the pick was off a tip, right? 115.6 passer rating. He's looking nice. It's like it's finally the Matthew Stafford out of Georgia, the number 1 pick that we've always been dreaming of. But you were just in Detroit. You didn't have the supporting cast besides Megatron, and now you do. So I'm willing to eat the plate. Odell Beckham Jr. as well. Yeah, all washed up, and now he's having a bounce back. I think all of us are on that boat. And I can admit, I thought OBJ was washed, but when you have Matthew Stafford there, he can make anyone look good. Let's be honest. If you give him time, it's not like he was ever a horrible quarterback. He's always been known as a top 10, top 12 quarterback. It's just that, you were getting stats with the Lions and you were just losing a lot of fucking games. But we always knew Stafford had game, but they just at the end of the season would only be winning 4 to 8 games every year. You know what I mean? He didn't really have a team good enough to get there. It's like they would have a playoff appearance every 4 to 5 years as a wild card winner. You know what I mean? But congratulations to him, man, and congratulations to Burrow. Unbelievable. I saw something about what if the Bucs went after Goff since he'd be a cheap replacement. I saw that too. No thanks. All these people trying to be like, oh, Jared Goff, cheap replacement. No, absolutely not. I'll stop being a Buccaneer fan for life if we get Jared Goff. And I'm not even joking. If Jared Goff is the quarterback after Brady retires, I will not watch Tampa Bay Buccaneer football for the rest of my life. Actually, that's probably not true, but I would be fucking pissed if we end up getting Jared Goff. No. Jared Goff and the Goffense, a new best friend. That'll get stolen in 3, 2, 1 by Peter Schrager. Stolen already. All right. But no, Jared Goff, I do not want him. I saw that too. I read a lot. I spend probably about 4 to 6 hours every day reading on team websites and different avenues and, watching Good Morning Football and watching Peter Schrager steal Uncle Mo for me. I'm doing a lot of that research and obviously film study as well. But yeah, I do not want Jared Goff, man. I don't think he's horrible. I just don't want him on my team. You know what I mean? I think that if you put him on a playoff team, I think he could do, some things, but he's limited. He's limited on what he can do. And I don't want Carson Wentz either. So don't be telling me about Carson Wentz and Jared Goff because I don't want him. And I don't want Jameis Winston or Marcus Mariota either. All right? No. All right? You can't go from Tom Brady to that. You know what I mean? Let's go. It'd be nice to see my Eagles use first-round picks to get a quarterback. I disagree. Defense. Jalen Hurts is the guy. Trust me, once your defense gets better, offensive line gets beefed up, you get another weapon for him, a Wilson or a Olave. I'm telling you, Jalen Hurts can win the NFC East for you guys, even over the Cowboys or the Washington, whatever the hell their name's going to be, the Commanders or whatever, or the New York Giants. But I think you got to give Jalen Hurts the proper time. Sirianni didn't even run the football until November. Give it time. And if you give him better weapons, I think that you beef up the O-line, you beef up the defense, another wide receiver. I think Jalen Hurts could be the guy. I like him. I know a lot of Eagles fans have already given up on him, but there's nobody in this draft, in my opinion, that's going to be better than Jalen Hurts. You know what I mean? Just based on him already being there for, a year and kind of understanding what they have. I'm not really impressed with a lot of the QBs in this draft. Is there going to be 1 or 2 that might end up shining? Of course. There usually is at least 1 or 2 every year. But there's nothing that really stands out to me because, look at the 5 quarterbacks this year. A lot of them didn't really play good or like Trey Lance didn't play at all. I don't see anyone in this year's draft or next year that's going to be Joe Burrow or Justin Herbert. And that's facts. Bang! CP! He said, you are the first person I've donated to, so keep up the good work. Skull! Oh, dude, thank you so much. And I'm going to keep that up on the screen for a little while. I've had, Forbidden Alchemy He ended up donating $100, and that was the first donation that he's ever done. So now I'm starting to earn donations from some of the regulars that have never donated. Speaking of donations and things like that, young Nola is begging to come back, and then he gets his Instagram taken away from like the 40th time. I was like, bro, if you can't learn on Instagram, why am I going to bring you back? So that I can ban you and then unban you, ban you and unban you. I'm not going to do that. You know what I mean? It's just, you got to be mature, dude. You know, and you have to understand what you're saying and the content that you're putting out there. If you're getting your shit taken away from the 40th time, it's you. It's you. It's not Instagram. It's you. And it's just frustrating because I want him to be on the channel, but I don't want to have that toxic environment in here. You know what I mean? So, you know, maybe Justin Wills and maybe young Nola will be on the channel again, or maybe they'll create fake profiles and they'll hop in because they missed the channel. But I told him he's on probation. You know what I mean? I'll have to decide if I want him back on the channel or not. But I don't want to have the headaches towards the mods or the other people. I'm trying to grow. I'm not trying to lose subs. CP, Vikings in the building. You are the first person I've donated to. Keep up the good work, Skull. And I'm telling you, when people let me know, if I don't already know already, I know when people donate to me for the first time or the amount they donate. But not only did you donate, all right, you donated 10. You didn't even do like $1. Like, that's love, dude. That means a lot to me. Thank you so much. Because, you know, I'm always hustling. I'm always grinding. And at this point, this might be my only income. You know, I'm not going to maybe try to be doing these other jobs. So, I mean, every single dollar counts, you know, towards rent or bills. So if I have to stream literally every day to make a living until I can get to the point where, you know, I can start doing some other special things like raids, you know, or doing some charity work, you know, we'll get there, you know, at some point. But right now, I just got to put in a lot of the hard work. And CP, your donation means a lot. You could have did $1, which would have been amazing, but you did 10. So big salute to you. CP, Vikings in the building. Score! Appreciate you. Man, it's been a special day today. We get someone that donates to the channel for the very first time. We get Peter Schrager stealing Uncle Mo on Good Morning Football this morning. You can watch it on my Instagram or my Twitter. Or if you recorded Good Morning Football, you can watch it there as well. Bang, 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 bang. Appreciate you. He said, super chat, baby. CP, appreciate you. Means a lot, dude. All right, here we go. YouTube GM said Joe Burrow this postseason, 75 for 109, 842, 4 TDs, 2 picks. All right, not as maybe as impressive as Matthew Stafford, but also with no offensive line, you got to give him some credit. He's just so much moxie, so much Joe Burr, Joe Cool, Joey B. Get the gat. He's like the coolest guy like in the NFL, isn't he? Like whenever you watch him, he just seems like a cool dude. Gets along with everyone. He's just got all the swag, all the drip. Just seems like a cool guy to hang around, Joe Burrow. And I imagine his jersey is going to sell, even if they lose the Super Bowl and get blown out. There'll be a lot of Bengals fans here on out. Like, if you're going to hop on the Bengals bandwagon right now, all right, or after they win the Super Bowl or lose, stick with them. Because they might have some bad years with injuries or whatever, you know, but if you're going to stick with a guy like that, which would be kind of exciting if, you know, if you decide to, if you don't already have a favorite team. Now, if you already have a favorite team and you jump ship, I don't know if I can respect that. But if you're, you know, at the point of, you know, choosing who your team is, stick with them. You got to stick with them, good, bad, or ugly. And you never know. This might be their only Super Bowl appearance. I hope not for the Bengals, but, you know, it's very hard to get to the Super Bowl, let alone win it. And that's facts. Oh, that was postseason. Okay. So we were doing postseason. There we go. Now we're doing Matthew Stafford in the postseason. I got to drink some beer while you guys read those stats. Had some pizza earlier today with cheese in the crust. Little pepperoni supreme pizza. I got some beers here. Peter Schrager stealing my fucking material. We got overtime, Chiefs and Bengals as they're making their drive before McPherson kicks the game-winning field goal in overtime. 2nd down and 8. Shotgun set. Burrow. Nice catch by T. Higgins. First down. Bengals. Move the chains. Let's go. 72 for 100, 905 yards, 6 TDs, 1 pick, 115.6 passer rating, 15 rushing attempts, 36 yards, 2 rushing TDs. What a stud. What a stud. Jim Harbaugh does get the head coaching job in Minnesota, then yes, Vic Fangio sounds like a perfect fit. Yep. Yeah, and they like to be able to play physical football. And I don't know if they're, I mean, as far as defensive coordinator minds, Vic Fangio had the Bears in great position. And if he goes there, he can beat his old team because they're going to be playing Chicago twice a year. It almost makes sense. You know what I mean? And they're two similar kind of personalities. Physical football, you know, run the football down your throat. You know what I mean? Kind of like the Niners. play good defense. And then on top of that, Minnesota already has a great passing game with Cousins, Justin Jefferson, and Thielen. So, I mean, if you can get Dalvin Cook not to get hurt, and you can beef up that O-line, beef up the defense, have those two guys there, Minnesota could make an NFC championship game maybe sooner than later. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, they already got pieces that are very sexy. Cousins, Dalvin Cook, Thielen, Justin Jefferson. I mean, out of those four guys, I mean, how many other guys or teams have four guys as talented as that? Maybe Kirk Cousins is the least talented out of the four, but he's still pretty good. He's still like 11th in the league as a quarterback, like 11, 12, 13, right? So you got a guy right outside the top 10 at quarterback, a top 3 running back in Dalvin Cook, and 2 top 10 wide receivers, in Thielen, and obviously Justin Jefferson probably is top 5, with Jamar Chase. So they got something there. CP knows it. He said, man, I got to donate to this guy. He's making a lot of sense today. Appreciate you, my dude. Very, very much. Where are we at? 1450. Let's get to 25, baby. Let's do it. Hell yeah. He said the Bengals would be the toughest matchup the Rams have had this offseason. I don't know. I mean, the Bucks, gave them a little bit of a fight. The Niners gave them a little bit of a fight. It all really depends on the battle in the trenches. All right. If Aaron Donald gets to Joe Burrow, it's over. I mean, it's over. You know what I mean? Like, if they end up blocking him pretty good and it ends up being kind of like the Chiefs game, the Bengals will win. It pretty much is like you got to get pressure and kind of batted balls, hands in the face. It doesn't even have to be sack lunches and picks necessarily, but you got to have Burrow run for his life. And if Burrow's running for his life, they're not going to win the game. You know what I mean? With Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp and obviously OBJ and everything that they're doing on their end, the only way that Burrow is going to be able to keep up is if the offensive line can kind of hold their own. And that's the big question mark, because they couldn't do it against the Titans, but they won 9 sack lunches. All right. Then they found a way to do a good job against Frank Clark and Chris Jones. And I still don't get how they didn't make that an impact part of the game. How did the Chiefs not get to him with that horrible O-line that we saw the week before? What happened? What was the difference? Did the Bengals players do steroids? Did the Chiefs players forget to take theirs? Like, what happened there? I don't see a team that has 9 sack lunches given up, and then the team that plays them the next week has Frank Clark and Chris Jones. Who? Chris Jones. Who? Chris Jones. And that'll get stolen from me in 3, 2, 1. Peter Schrager. Little Mike Jones reference. But you know what I'm saying? It's just crazy. It's just crazy to me. You know what I mean? But congratulations to Cincinnati. They deserved it. But it's just, I've never seen an O-line be this bad, make it all the way to the Super Bowl. Never. And now you're going against arguably the best D-line in football. I mean, the Buccaneers have a pretty good D-line. The Niners, there's a lot of teams that have pretty good D-lines. But with Aaron Donald there, obviously they're in the Super Bowl, so you got to give them a lot of credit. They got one of the best D-lines in football and defenses in general. Can they, run away with it? Because if it ends up being close, this guy on the TV right now, Evan McPherson, has got ice water in the veins, Florida Gator. I mean, he's one of the only kickers that was drafted, and it shows you drafting a kicker isn't stupid. I would take a kicker. You know what I mean? If I knew I had someone like Evan McPherson, I would draft a kicker that good, like in the 4th round. Like, I know kickers get drafted in like the 6th, 7th round, undrafted. But if you get a kicker that's like Evan McPherson, picking him in like the 3rd, 4th round, if you really need a kicker, it makes sense. Because a lot of guys that are picked in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round, they don't even pan out. This guy's panning out, and he's unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. Look at the tutties. Joe Burrow. And let's take a look at Matthew Stafford here. Stafford playing a little bit better. Stafford's kind of, showing, hey, I'm the man. Have you guys forgot? I was a top 10 quarterback for years and years and years and years. So I knew Goff looked good just because of McVay. Absolutely. So I like to mention Burrow has more positive impact than his stats show. He's made a ton of clutch throws under pressure. Yep. Burrow is clutch. He's Joe Cool. Mitch Trubisky. No. Goff, no. Trubisky, no. Carson Wentz, no. Jameis Winston, no. All right. Not Marcus Mariota, no. Not for my team. Holly Hundo, how are you? Hey, all. Been hanging out here for a bit and multitasking. Heard a lot of this chat, but want to let you know I'm here and hope everyone's well. I'm so sorry, man. So sorry, Holly. That must have been really tough, to go to the game. I know the tickets probably cost a lot. Everyone was anticipating what happened in the first half to continue in the second half. Just a complete meltdown, by Mahomes and obviously the offensive line and the team. And what can you say? You guys will be back. So that's at least the bright side of it. You guys will be back. I saw your picture of Tommy Townsend on Twitter. I retweeted it. Rough. It's like you saw the amazing Patrick Mahomes and the offense in the first half and the bad Patrick Mahomes in the second half and in overtime. And that throw in overtime in double coverage, that's all Mahomes. You had Jesse Bates the third there. That's the one guy that you don't throw to. You don't throw to Jesse Bates the third. You know what I mean? I don't understand why that in overtime that you're going to go towards this guy. He's a pick machine. And then boom, it went into Von Bell's hands. And then you knew that it was going to be over. McPherson was going to end up making the kick. But at least on the bright side, you guys will be back. And you guys are going to be a very good team for a very long time. But it is showing, how hard it is to get back to a Super Bowl and the parity in the NFL. I know Chiefs fans are crying. Chiefs fans are hurting. Bills fans from the week before, Bucks fans, Grossi, Packer fans, we're all hurt. But we're going to have an amazing Super Bowl. And that's facts. Bobby Trees. Yep. And if you guys don't know who Bobby Trees is, it's Robert Woods. All right. Get in the game like me and Loyal Rammy. We know this. Great blocker. I think he's the best blocking wide receiver in the NFL. Bobby Trees, Robert Woods. Yeah. They might decide to keep OBJ instead of Robert Woods, but it would be smart to keep everyone if they can afford it. So Holly Hundo and Luke in the building. Sarah Small in the building. What to do? Yeah, that's got to hurt. Joe Forte in the building. Hey, he said, I'm 41. I'm 39. He said, I live in Cincinnati, Bengals fan all my life in the 90s. I would hope the Bengals would have away games just so I could watch it on TV because then I played at home. You couldn't watch it on TV. Hey, congratulations, man. I mean, I grew up in the Icky Woods era, Boomer Esiason. I remember a lot of those memories, Chris Collinsworth. I remember being in my backyard playing catch with my dad and doing the Icky shuffle and having Icky on TV, Icky Woods. I mean, if he ended up watching football, he didn't have a really long career, but when he was good, he was polarized, kind of like a Bo Jackson on TV and on football cards and everything. And it only lasted for a little bit, but congratulations, man. I know a lot of Bengals fans have been waiting for something like this, and you finally got someone. Look at the chain. Wow, look at the chain. He's like Orion out there on like the NWSF. That's a fire Bengals chain right there. Hooday! Wow. What a chain that guy's got on. And he had the Icky Woods. He had the Icky Woods jersey on too. Wow. Crazy. As we're just talking about him. Joe Forte in the building. What to do? Oh, it's all good, YouTube GM. You can put in the stats. I know that people in the chat appreciate it because, like I said, I'm not going to have time to type in every single stat line. So anything that's important for the offense or defense, Burrow, Stafford, that's what you're here for, to be able to support the channel. And if you can add a little tidbits, because obviously you like to look things up. That's what you like to do anyways. I really appreciate you very, very much, YouTube GM. So I can be toxic. Just look at my reaction during the Rams-Bucks game, but at least it was just football. Brute Saint, yeah. That's okay. Sometimes those rivalries come out. As a Saint fan, you're like, fuck the Rams, fuck the Buccaneers. There's history with our teams beating your team, obviously normally, and also with the referees, botching that call, in the NFC Championship game in, 2018. So I get it, man. I get it. Oh, man. Chiefs. Tough. Holly Hundo. You guys will be back. But it's a shame that second half, the adjustments weren't made. So that not only goes on Mahomes, but Andy Reid, Bieniemy, and Spagnuolo. It really does. You know what I mean? And you could hear the Uncle Mo. And speaking of Uncle Mo, the whole point of this video is if you watch Good Morning Football this morning, this man right here, I used to respect you a lot. Peter Schrager, all right? You're always on Dan Patrick's show. I guess, people have said, Brute Saint said, Pat McAfee show has stolen some of that material, but he did the Uncle Mo when they were going over the Chiefs and the Bengals highlight, because I said that, and I've been saying it for years, and then he says, I call it Uncle Mo, and Kyle Brandt says, what's that? And he says, Uncle Momentum, and I lost my lid. I couldn't believe that this motherfucker, Peter Schrager, stole my shit and didn't give me any fucking credit. But I guess that's what happens, right? I guess that's what happens. You know what I mean? When you get on TV and you're not original, and you know that EA Sports Madden stole sack lunch from me. right, years ago and put it in the game. Didn't give me credit. All right. Didn't get my name in the game. Didn't get any money. It's like, I need to copyright literally everything I say. Every catchphrase, anything that I come up with that's original, it's always stolen. But on the bright side, I know people are watching me. They might not sub to the channel. They might not donate. They might not comment. But I know them or their social media teams that work for Good Morning Football, Pat McAfee Show, EA Sports Madden, they're watching. But I just couldn't believe. If you want to go to my Twitter or Instagram, I posted the video, which is about 20 seconds, where you can hear it very clearly. I got it on my DVR here as well. I am an originator, just like Tom Grossi, Kitty Goes Meow. If you heard Kitty Goes Meow anywhere else, you'd be like, oh, you stole it from Tom. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not that hard to come up with original content, but I guess now in this day and age where it's just a lot easier to steal from someone rather than come up with a new concept. That's why we have all these old school movies being rebooted, because America is fucking stupid and they're lazy. They can't come up with new ideas for new movies. So they just want to piggyback off the shit that was in the 80s or the 90s. Come on, America. Come on, Peter Schrager. Stop stealing my fucking material. And if you're going to do it, at least shout me out, Orion, Northwest Sports Fanatics. But obviously, you guys are too big-headed on Good Morning Football and NFL Network to give your boy some credit. Uncle Momentum, officially stolen today on Good Morning Football. Unbelievable. Unfucking believable. I still can't believe it, man. I still can't believe it. So I'm glad I can help you out and appreciate the hustle. Thank you, man. I'm always grinding and I'm always hustling. Always, always, always. CP, you're the man. Appreciate you. And I know that probably won't be the last donation that I get from you as we go and do Vikings games next year. I'll be excited for you to be in the room. And like I said, maybe you can be my Vikings guy in the chat. When I end up doing the games out there, and we can watch the games together and we can get some more skull. We can get some more fans in the building as well. Appreciate you very, very much. Chiefs choked in the second half. Yeah. Kitty Goes Meow. Kitty Goes Meow. Saw Burrow's outfit for the AFC Championship. Dude was dripping with swag. I think everyone saw that. I mean, anyone that was watching, he knows how to dress. I mean, it's like Joe Namath, had the swag with the fur coat. You just see certain guys that have that look and the swag, and obviously get the gat. He's always had, the cigar and just the swag when he was at LSU. So it shouldn't really be a surprise, that Joe Burrow, ended up kind of climbing the mountain, but we just didn't think it would be this soon. So unbelievable. So I honestly don't know who to root for in the Super Bowl. Bengals, who beat the Chiefs, rightly so, or Rams like Stafford, but not the rest of the team. I know I'm kind of torn that way as well. EMC 84, Ramley in the building. What to do? How are you? Said would have been better if it was a Chiefs Rams in the Super Bowl. I think so too, honestly. I mean, we'll take the Bengals getting there, but I mean, it's like a year or 2, 3 years early. We were just expecting the Chiefs to win at home. If the game was in Cincinnati and Cincinnati won, I don't think it would be that like, oh wow, the Chiefs, they blew it. It's like, okay, Cincinnati was at home, but just the way that they played in the second half and the adjustments that weren't made. But Uncle Momentum, Peter Schrager, are you listening? Peter, are you there? Yeah, you probably are. But Uncle Mo, all right, it all started when the Chiefs decided to try to step on the throat and try to put the pedal to the metal. And then right before halftime, they did that stupid-ass screen pass to Tyreek because they thought they were going to blow him out. And what happened? Bengals played great defense. They tackled them. They stopped them. They could have got a field goal and went up by an additional 3, right? And then they would have got the ball back and could have scored again. But they got fucking too greedy. And that's coaching. That's all Andy Reid's fault. That's all Bieniemy's fault. And if you think about it, I mean, that's the reason they lost. And then the Uncle Mo, once that play hit, Uncle Mo picked up the phone, right, for Cincinnati, and he didn't hang up for the third quarter, the fourth quarter, or overtime. And then Uncle Mo, it was over. Uncle Momentum. I mean, Uncle Momentum might last one play. Sometimes it lasts a quarter. And in this case, it lasted 2 quarters and overtime. And that's facts. You should have never, ever got greedy right there. Take the 3, especially when you were going to get the football back in the second half. That might have been the dumbest move I think I've seen in football, besides maybe Staley on the Chargers going for 2 against the Chiefs over and over and over again, like he was Chip Kelly. You know what I mean? It's just crazy. Holly Hundo, I know a lot of people are pissed, but that was a single moment when the game changed. Is when they got greedy and they were like, we're already up by a shitload. You know what I mean? Let's fuck it. Let's just go for the, and at that point you guys are rolling. But sometimes, instead of going for it on 4th down, or, taking the 3, taking 3 is important. And you're seeing why it's so important, because at the end of the game, if you would have had that 3, you guys probably would have won the game. You know what I mean? Based on how the scoring would have went. It's tough. Hopefully they'll learn. Hopefully they will learn. Bengals O-line elite. No, it is not. It is not. Since he wins, Burrow will be Super Bowl MVP. If LA wins, Aaron Donald. I don't think Aaron Donald will be the MVP. I think it'll probably go to Stafford. I mean, because Stafford will probably be balling out. Bengals have holes in their defense. I mean, they got Von Bell, right? They got Jesse Bates at third. Bang! $100. Holly Hundo in the building. I'm not even at your comment just yet. Bang, 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 bang. Peter Schrager, you want to steal Uncle Mo? Holly Hundo. Bang! $100 donation. Thank you so much. Gang, gang, gang. I'm about to get to your comment here in just a second, but I think Matthew Stafford would end up being, the MVP because, I mean, at this point, why not? And it usually goes to a quarterback anyways, and that's big facts. CP. All right, I don't know if you knew this, but we drafted Carlson and was terrible for 2 games, and now look him on. Yeah, I know. You guys should have never let him go. And I know the Vikings fans are just like irking themselves and just like hitting their head against the wall over and over. And they're like, they should have never gave up on him. And now, lesson learned. You never give up on someone too soon like that. So. Loyal Rammy in the buildings. I've heard that since the O-line isn't good, Von Miller, AD, Gaines, Floyd. Yeah. But if they were so bad, how did they contain Chris Jones and Frank Clark? You know what I mean? Like you gave up 9 sack lunches. Did they do drugs? Did they do PEDs, steroids? Like what changed from going against the Titans to going against the Chiefs? I don't get it. I really still don't get it at that point, man. She said, right on. So you got it right. Not a great way to end the season, but oh well. But you guys will be back. So at least one thing, to think of is like, this isn't the last hurrah like me and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We're probably not going to get to an NFC championship game ever again. I'm probably not going to get to a Super Bowl ever again. You guys will get to an AFC championship game, and you guys will get to a Super Bowl again and probably win. You know what I mean? And you might get multiple, in the next 15 years. My run might be over. If Tom's gone, it's done. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I got 15 free agents. Gronk will be gone. Tom will be gone. My coaching staff will be gone. It was a great 2-year run. So at least pray or be happy that you're not me. You're not the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You are the Kansas City Chiefs. So, and that's big facts. I'm getting close to that dono with the $100, Holly Hundo. Give me 1 second here. Cooper Kupp, 3 games, 32 targets, 25 receptions. Nice. And I want you to put OBJ's stats up. If you can, YouTube GM, put up OBJ's stats in the postseason. And you're starting to see his target share is very good. He's really starting to ball out. That's facts. Loyal Rammy, Goff is your answer. The Goff answer. No. Stop trolling, dude. If you're already in the Super Bowl and you guys already beat me, you don't need to low blow me with this Jared Goff stuff. Right? Rodgers to Tampa, Russell the Colts. Now that's what I'm talking about, EMC 84. Instead of having to throw, Carson Wentz or Jared Goff in Tampa's lap or Gardner Minshew like YouTube GM keeps wanting to have happen. Rodgers to Tampa, Russell Wilson the Colts. That sounds pretty good. All right? That sounds pretty good to me. Jimmy G to Tampa. No, you just lost all credibility with me. You were on my side and we were good, EMC 84, with this comment, and then you just went on probation. You just went on friendship probation with this comment. Jimmy G, really? I'm trying to get to the Super Bowl again, and it's not going to happen with Jimmy G, man. I guarantee people will steal Grossi's Kitty Goes Meow. Kitty Goes Meow even went trending in the top 10 on Twitter. You know what I mean? So Grossi's the man. I mean, anything that guy does, turns into magic with obviously all his hard work and energy, and obviously with Clickbait Sports with Perna. Like I said, we didn't get the NFC Championship game collab, and it really did make me sad. He got eliminated, I got eliminated, but we are going to collab when we play each other, maybe in the regular season. I haven't seen the schedule for Tampa next year. If anyone can look that up for the Packers or the Bucks, do we play each other next year? If I had to take a guess, I would say no. I don't think we do, but if we do, let me know, and then maybe we can circle that on the calendar for a future collab with Grossi. But I know it'll happen eventually, but it would have been really special with, obviously Rodgers, farewell tour, Brady, farewell tour, NFC Championship game would have been really, really big. Jamar Chase, 27 targets, 20 receptions, 279 yards, 1 tutty. He'll get busy in the Super Bowl for sure. Yeah, and obviously, we saw that in the fourth quarter, in the third quarter, and overtime. You got Tyler Boyd, right? You got T. Higgins. And remember what I said? I said, you got all these amazing players out there. I mean, you got to be able to make it happen. Kitty Goes Meow, Grossi, right? McPherson is a stud. We've seen this. This might be the top 3 kicker in the league. You got Justin Tucker. You got Butker and all these other guys out there. But Evan McPherson has got ice water in his veins. Jesse Bates III is a stud. But I always said, guys like this, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, they are money. You know what I mean? And obviously, if you get a little bit of Joe Mixon, he's probably the most underrated running back in the NFL. And we already know about this guy right here, Joe Cool, Joe Burrow, fucking phenomenal. Just like AJ Styles, baby. Unbelievable. Bang! $100. Now that I don't have the budget for attending the Super Bowl, I can afford another hundo. So frustrating coaching, Uncle Mo. Don't get greedy. You called it right, Orion. Thank you so much. Yeah, and obviously you even said before, obviously Nate the Great was holding it down with the big donos. And I knew, if you're spending big dollar amounts to see the Steelers, you're going through all the playoff matchups. It's going to be one of those things. I would rather have you spend your money there and enjoy the moment. You know what I mean? Obviously, the donos and the love and the appreciation, you're always going to be here. And obviously, tickets are expensive. We know this. So at least you got some good memories, over some of the games that you got to watch. It just sucks that last game, ended the way that it did. But obviously, with the Chiefs and the Bills, phenomenal. The Steelers, watching Big Ben's last game. You got to really capture a lot of memories. And like I said, I can't state enough, out of the big dogs, obviously the top of the cream of the crop, Nate the Great, Holly Hundo, and, everyone that does, the bigger donos, even Forbidden Alchemy, his very first dono was $100 dono. So, I'm starting to get the support. And like I said, it's starting to get to a point where this might be my only income. So if I'm going to try to focus on just doing YouTube only and not doing other jobs, it's going to be something where I'm going to probably stream almost every day and hustle and work hard. And as long as I don't have to be rich, but as long as I have enough money to pay rent and bills and just keep grinding it out, and eventually we can raid and we can do charity work, that's the ultimate goal. But I think for my mental health, if I can just focus on just being a YouTuber and not do the other jobs, I think that's kind of the direction that we're going. But thank you so much, Holly Hundo. Bang! $100. Holly Hundo, I love you. Appreciate you. Always supporting the channel. Always being the best. I love you, and I appreciate you very, very much. Let's go. Appreciate you. Bang, 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 bang. Let's go. Shep in the building. What to do? Jameson Meza. Bang, bang, bang. Holly Hundo, amazing. What are we at now? 114.50. Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much. I heard that this morning, Sweet Daddy J34. I thought it sounded familiar. Yeah, and I even had to tweet him, and I knew he wasn't going to tweet me back, but I know he read it on his phone. And normally I don't come after people, on Twitter. I'm not young Nola. You know what I mean? He got his Instagram taken away. I don't know how many times, 40 times. And then he's like, are you going to unban me, bro? I was like, well, dude, if I unban you, I'm just going to ban you again, more than likely. It's like, I don't know if I want to do that back and forth, but I said, P. Shregs. I said, I see you like stealing original content like my Uncle Mo, Uncle Momentum. I was like, I've been saying it for years on my NFL YouTube channel. At least give credit. Don't act like you just made it up, SMH. Shaking my head. Northwest Sports Fanatics, NWSF. You know what I mean? And that's true. You know what I mean? Like, because it's like, he said, oh, this is what I call Uncle Mo. And then Kyle Brandt said, what's that? Right? Like they never said it before on TV. And he said, Uncle Momentum. And then he starts waving his hands around. I'm like, this guy, man. But at least I know they're watching me. You know what I mean? So at least I know they're stealing my content. But it's just like, it would have been nice to be able to get the credit. But once you're on TV like that, those guys aren't going to want to give credit. You know what I mean? And then you get like Kyle Brandt and Chris Carter and Kay Adams. Like, wow, he's such a genius. He always comes up with all these, crafty nicknames and original content. No, he's just a thief. He's a thief. All right. A lot of these guys on TV and podcasts are thieves. I guess Brute Saint was saying on Pat McAfee show that he's heard them say that on there as well. So, it's not that hard to come up with original content, or is it? Obviously it is, because then they wouldn't be stealing all the material from all the other people like me and Grossi. This is ridiculous, man. Just give me some credit. I used to have so much respect for this guy. Am I going to ban watching this, for the rest of my life? No. You know what I mean? But I lost a lot of respect, man. Peter Schrager, he's like the stats analytics guy. He's the smartest guy, that's there on the show. Hands down. He's the one that does the most research. You know what I mean? You're the last guy I thought that would steal from me. All right? Peter Schrager, the thief on Good Morning Football, stealing Uncle Mo. And I got it on the TV here. If you want to go to the Instagram or Twitter, I got it on my Twitter so you can see the little 20-second clip, unless you have Good Morning Football, obviously on your DVR recorded. But unbelievable. We do play next season. We do. Yes. All right, cool. So, I mean, hopefully Brady will be back, but if you guys have Jordan Love, it won't have the same type of impact. But that's exciting. What week is it? I don't know. Maybe they haven't even posted that. So that's awesome. Okay. Well, that makes me excited. It would have been much better if we would have had the NFC Championship game, but I thought it might be a couple years away because you normally play, like the NFC, North, West, and then you AFC South, East, you like rotate every year, and then it goes to another division. So that's awesome. That is awesome. I'm excited about that. So I think you'll play Green Bay regardless because you and him were both divisional winners this season. There we go. And you play in Tampa. Ooh, okay. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. That's great to hear. That's great to hear. So do you see the SoFi managers of the Oculus operators focus cameras on the sea? No, I didn't see that. I didn't see that at all. I did see some Rams fans getting booted out of restaurants by Niner fans, being salty. But, that's going to happen when both teams are so passionate trying to, go to the Super Bowl. All right, OBJ with the Rams, 11 games. Look, I mean, the receptions could be a little bit better. You know what I mean? And some of the throws are a little high or a little low. But look at OBJ's impact, kind of like a Robert Woods, Bobby Trees, right? 6 tutties. Huge. I mean, his impact on the Rams is already what he did with the Browns. And obviously Stafford is much better than Baker Mayfield. But for all of us that gave up on OBJ, and raise your hand if you're one of them, because I am, I can say, I was wrong. And thank God that he went to the Rams. And hopefully, he has a great rest of his career that he can climb back into being a top 15 wide receiver. Because I just didn't know if he had the mindset, the skill set, if he could not, get injured again. But he obviously proved that, hey, I'm worthy. And now I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, dude, even with AB, Tampa should have signed him. Because if we had OBJ, maybe we would have been a little bit more competitive against the Rams, especially with Godwin. And then after AB decided to give us the middle finger, you know what I mean? But we couldn't have, probably predicted that. 85.50 to 200. Thank you so much. Sarah Small giving the quick update. Cliff still with the Cardinals. I would fire him. They need someone better to develop Kyler Murray, and that's big facts. So, hey, how you all already know the matchups for next season? Well, you can look up the schedules. Some schedules have already been released. Not exactly what week that you're playing, but it just has the teams that you're going to play next season. They're going to have like the full schedule, when they play, where they're going to play, and what week it's going to be later on. They're not going to announce all of that because they got to put the full schedule together. But you can see who you're playing. It should show that for most teams, I believe, at this point. So, yeah, you and me both. You know what I mean? Like that was really, I did the video. It's like Brady's retiring. I thought, oh God, is it happening? But I was like, for Brady to go out like that, I was like on those type of terms. That was just kind of weird to me. So, we'll see what happens there. But, we have a couple things for news, obviously today. So obviously we went over the AFC NFC championship game. Congratulations to Josh McDaniels. You are the new head coach of the Raiders. All right. I see you. So maybe you can get the Raiders, on a good note. Dennis Allen still in the running to be the Saints head coach. Hopefully he gets it. We know Dan Quinn is staying at defensive coordinator. Eberflus, we know what's happening there. You're going to be able to do some things there in Chicago. And Nathaniel Hackett, you are the new head coach of the Denver Broncos. And we already know, obviously, with Sean Payton is walking away from the game, at least temporarily. And the thief of Good Morning Football of Uncle Mo, it's Peter Schrager. Unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. Yes. Well, because he's on TV. You know what I mean? If you're on TV, you're on Good Morning Football, you're on NFL Network. If you're, one of those guys, you're just going to end up getting, that respect over and over and over again. They don't give a shit if they're right or they're wrong, or if they do something wrong. It's like they always get a free pass no matter what. People are still going to be listening to him. They're still going to, retweet his stuff, when it comes out on Twitter, for news, because most of the time those guys are right. But unbelievable. All right, man. I can't believe that Uncle Mo got stolen from me. Yeah, so I don't know if you heard the conversation, obviously, from before, Holly Hundo, but EA Sports, the Madden video game, they stole material from me a few years ago with the Sack Lunch, and they put it in the video game, and it came from me. I made it up, and then they decided to, obviously not give me any credit, which is fine. I assume that they would do that. But with Schrager today on Good Morning Football, stealing the Uncle Momentum, I mean, that's just too precise to come up on your own. You know what I mean? If you did something other than Uncle Mo, you know what I mean? But to specifically say Uncle Mo, what's that? Uncle Momentum? You know, shame on you, Peter Schrager. But it's all good. At least they're watching me. At least they're watching me, and at least I know that, you know, all the hard work and the energy, you know, there's only so many people, you know, that are doing live play-by-play and reactions. You know what I mean? You got Grossi, you got Perna, Sports Fury, you got me. You know what I mean? But there's not like hundreds of well-known people. You know what I mean? I'm probably the lowest on the sub count wise. You know what I mean? But I think I have some of the most loyal fans out of all of those other guys that are out there. I mean, everyone's got loyal fans, but I really appreciate the Fanatic family, and hopefully we can grow. Hopefully I can get out of this like hater bubble out of YouTube with the analytics and the metrics and the haters. And instead of losing subs, we can gain subs. Instead of getting porn bots, I can actually get real people. You know what I mean? Because obviously the fans are great. The conversations are great. The friendships are great. The donations are out of this world. It's just kind of a crazy thing to me where it's like people are stealing my material. I'm losing subs on YouTube. I'm not getting enough people to see me or see my name, you know, or my voice, but they have no problem stealing from me. It's just all I want to do is grow. You know, all I want to do is grow and get more people to watch, you know, the Fanatic family and, you know, the Northwest Sports Fanatics. So I just have to be patient and just keep grinding it out. And, you know, I will. Holly Hundo, thank you so much for your generosity. You're always stepping up for the channel, just like Nate the Great, Shepard Williams, Odin's son, obviously Cyberpunk 53, Forbidden Alchemy, all the big heavy hitters on the channel. You guys are going to make my dreams come true by being able to hopefully just not do any other jobs out there, and I can just focus on YouTube full time, maybe for the rest of my life, I'm hoping. And that way, you know, going through the off season and just keeping things moving forward, I'm going to keep grinding it out. I'm going to keep pushing. And then hopefully as a Fanatic family team, we can grow and just get out of this, you know, hater bubble that we're in, and we can get more people to enjoy what we bring to this channel for the Fanatic family. Appreciate you guys very much. All right, here are my opponents. Look at YouTube GM. He's already on top of it. I'm saying something, and then boom. It's like, boom, like right there on the ticker, right there on the screen. All right, home. Falcons, Ravens, Panthers, Bengals. Ooh, we get Bengals. Woo! Joe Burrow, Packers, Chiefs, Rams, Saints. My God, the schedule's tough. My God, that's at home? Falcons, Ravens, Panthers, and then I'm like, okay, whatever. Bengals, no. Packers, no. Chiefs, no. Rams, oh, man, that's tough. There's going to be some fun games next year if Brady's there, though. All right, and then Seahawks. Okay, away, Cardinals, Falcons, Panthers, Browns, Cowboys, Saints, Steelers, Niners. So it looks like my home is much harder than the away. That's tough. Wow, that's a tough schedule. I don't know how many games I'm going to win out of that, especially if I don't have Brady. Uh-oh. Wow. Schefter might be an expert at premature NFL clickbait. Yeah. That's funny. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's just crazy. It's like when I look at the sub count, you know what I mean? And I don't know if I have a lot of robot subs or a lot of fake subs or what's going on. I never paid for like subs. I don't know if you can do that. I know people do that like on Twitter, or like they pay for like fake accounts or whatever and stuff like that. I've never did anything like that, but it's just crazy when I work so hard and I see everyone else around me growing, right? And I'm going backwards. You know what I mean? Maybe it's like those porn bots, or maybe it's like old accounts, you know, that don't watch. But it's just weird that I put my blood, my sweat, my tears into everything, and then I'm not getting the proper viewership, and I'm losing subs on top of that, unless it's the people that I'm banning. You know, if it's like Young Nola or Justin Wills, I guess. But it's just like, you know, I just want to grow, but I don't want to have to boot people out and ban people either. But I gotta keep grinding it out. Rick Boogs. Yeah, right. Unbelievable. So obviously on Good Morning Football today, like we were talking about before, we had Peter Schrager steal Uncle Momentum. And I think I'll play it one more time just so that we can all hear it. And I just can't believe that he did this, dude. How could you do this to me, Peter Schrager? All right. Let me see if I can cue it up from the point where he decided to steal my material. All right, here. Hold on. I got it queued up. Hold on. And it's very clear, too. All right, you guys ready?
It's 3 stops and a defense, and then you saw the sideline. You can see. And Kay, we were in the building in Arrowhead.
Hear it? Listen.
In crazy midget. I call it Uncle Mo. Momentum. Yes. You feel it. You feel it. Hey, and I know I watch a lot of games on the couch.
One more time. If you didn't hear, listen closely.
CBS was saying, that's all right. And then here we go. It's 3 stops and a defense, and then you saw the sideline. You can see. And Kay, we were in the building in Arrowhead. In crazy midget. I call it Uncle Mo. Uncle Mo. Momentum. Yes. You feel it. You feel it. Hey, and I know I watch a lot of games on the couch in the studio.
Peter Schrager, you are on probation, my dude. Oh, man, so much respect that I had for Good Morning Football. I always defended them, always loved their channel. I always loved their material. How could you steal that from me, man? How could you do that? How could you do that? But hey, it is what it is. You know what I mean? It's just the nature of the beast, I guess, you know. But AFC Championship game, NFC Championship game were obviously fantastic. They went both down to the wire. It was an amazing, set of games. We thought more than likely it was going to be the Chiefs and the Rams, but some of us decided to go Niners, Bengals. Some of us went Chiefs, Niners, like myself, and then no one really picked Rams and Bengals. I think that was the least likely matchup, and maybe we should have thought that. But I'm still shocked to this day, that the Chiefs had that collapse, but I'm hoping that they'll be able to bounce back. The Jimmy G era is over, so they're going to be done, but they'll be back with Trey Lance probably sooner than later. And congratulations to Matthew Stafford and the Rams, and congratulations to Joe Burrow. Get the gat. He's the fucking man. Cincinnati Bengals are in the Super Bowl. And like I said, I mean, what a crazy season, for a lot of these teams that we end up talking about on a daily basis. Matthew Stafford, what a stud. Cam Akers, Cooper Kupp. If they win the Super Bowl, it's going to be because of him. Okay. Odell Beckham Jr., you're a fucking stud. Van Jefferson, I see you. Tyler Higbee got hurt in the game. You got Aaron Donald with finally a chance to win a ring. Von Miller trying to win a ring in the AFC and the NFC. Jalen Ramsey going to have his hands full with Jamar Chase. Ramley in the building. And then obviously we saw Bang Bang Niner Gang. Jimmy G, your career is over. In San Francisco, George Kittle, Elijah Moore, Deebo Samuel. I know he was crying after the game. He was hurt. Make him puke. Brandon Ayuk, Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, Robbie Gold, Bang Bang Niner Gang, and then a nice little tribute to Patrick the Clone Mahomes, the Grim Reaper, Showtime, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Travis Kelce, everyone's boo if you're a female. All right, the best dancer in the NFL. All right, Tyreek the Freak Hill, Honey Badger was emotional today. I saw some interviews with him. I hope they bring him back. I know he wants to be back. Chris Jones, Chris Jones? Little underwhelming performance from him. McCole Hardman and Tyreek got into it on the sideline. Andy Reid's not the only one that likes hamburgers and chocolate cake, just like your boy, Eric Bieniemy. I wish you would have just did a little bit better in that second half. Frank Clark, Harrison Butker, Chiefs. And then a shout out to Joe Burrow, Joe Cool, Joey B, Joey Franchise, the most underrated running back in the game, Joe Mixon, Jamar Chase hitting the gritty. And then the guys that are slept on. Avoid the Boyd. Tyler Boyd. That will get stolen in 3, 2, 1. Peter Schrager. All right. T. Higgins, you're the man. Jesse Bates III is a fucking pick machine, as well as Von Bell. Evan McPherson, you got ice water in your veins. Kitty goes meow. Wow. Unbelievable. I hope you guys enjoyed the show today. I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. I just wanted to go on for about an hour or two. It's about 8:30 now. Shout out to everyone that donated. Shout out to everyone that commented. Shout out to everyone that, supports this channel. You guys are the best. I love you, and I appreciate you. I'll be back tomorrow. So I'll probably be back tomorrow sometime between 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. for probably an hour to 2 hour stream. I'll drink beer. You guys ask NFL questions. We'll hang out, and I'll be watching Good Morning Football tomorrow to see what Peter Schrager decides to steal from me in that particular show. So shout out to Holly Hundo, Sarah Small, Luke Birch, everybody in the building. I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you guys for your support. And like I said, I will be back tomorrow with some new, fresh content. I drink beer. You ask NFL questions, unless we get some, crazy news or new signings at head coach and whatnot. But I love you guys. Have a great rest of your night. I'm going to hang out with my puppy Paisley. Let's see what she's up to. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And I got one question for you. Who talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics. Love you. Appreciate you. Peace. Gang.